Hello, everybody. This is Tara Taglienti, and welcome to Energy Transformation Week 2017. This is day 4. We're like midway in this week of amazing interviews, and it has been going so like beyond what I was even expecting. I really wasn't expecting like it to be as phenomenal as it's been, and I'm just so excited to be here. And I am going to be speaking with Sara Wilson today, and she is a phenomenal body whisperer. And I mean, seriously, you guys, like, Sara travels the world working on bodies. She works on world-renowned facilitators and makes sure that they take care of their bodies as they're facilitating very some intense classes. I mean, all around the world, Sara holds a space for transformation like no other. She's like, with her kindness, her nurturing and caring. I mean, it's like thank you, right, for being on the planet, because you're really, with the support that you give, and the support that you give for the entire, I would say, like the entire, not even just the tours that you go on around the world, but just who you be for people. You know, I'm clear is like, it's not only is it life-changing for them, but also contributing to a massive change on this planet. So without further ado, Sara, I would love to just introduce you, and in your words, will you tell everybody like who you are and what is your mission here on the planet?
Awesome. Thank you. First of all, that was like, I'm in tears, and we've just started. That was the awesomest introduction. I'm so grateful.
Oh,
yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. It's true. So true.
I'm getting like what we're creating here. It's kind of blowing my mind. With this, just getting it on a lot of levels. So
Thank you.
I just love to play with bodies, and I don't think I always knew that I could, but there have just been like different things that have woken me up over the years. So I like to help turn bodies on and help people find their joy and their light and their magic, and like, what's that space of fun in the body, and how can we nurture you? And sometimes it's just like a little touch here, and sometimes it's a 10-hour session, you know, or a hug or a cuddle, or like I'm feeding you something really delectable that's just going to make your mouth like pop. Like, how do we just operate from more bliss? I think is pretty much what it always comes down to.
Yeah. And so just so that you're, I mean, I'm sure you're aware of this, but in my personal opinion is like, I have never met anyone that that like I want to say thinks, but I know it's not the thinking thing, but it's like, I don't know anyone that, I haven't met anyone else that like like you it's like your thing is to like care about people and like really like anticipate what their, I want to say, needs or what their bodies require. But it's like, so like, gosh, the like the way that you're even talking about it is like you actually really will find what that person requires and deliver, right? It's just like, for me, like, I'm just saying personally, it takes something for me to want to like really get into somebody's world and be like, and how can I care for them? Like there's, like, it's like, for me, first I'm like, are they gonna hurt me? Are they gonna, it's like the barriers and all, like I go through all kinds of stuff, but you just like step up. It's like, hi. And you melt all that away for people. Like, what is that like? What is, I know I'm totally going off like the transformation story thing here, but like, what is it like for you? It seems so easy.
Like, you know how in Access they talk about like do what's really easy for you, and I'm sure the
Yeah.
other people think that too. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't get until I don't know, maybe the last year that like I could actually do what's really easy for me and get paid for it and like create a life
Yeah.
from it. But waking people up or just like I used to work at a shelter for moms with kids, and so like I'd be on like the morning shift and I'd tiptoe through the house like to try to wake people up, but I was always aware of like, so I'm holding a flashlight and I'm aware that if I'm walking up to somebody and it's dark and like I don't know the stress, I don't know the story, I just know how gentle can I be as I'm like approaching, because like who wants to be woken up meanly, who wants to be woken up,
Yeah.
you know, with like a raised voice or whatever. And so I was just always aware of like as I'm tiptoeing through, because I only want to wake up like a couple people if they have an early wake up, I don't want to wake up everybody in the house. It's like, how do I hold my flashlight so that it's not going in their eyes? And like, how can I like reach out to them in a loving way without
Yeah.
actually touching? Because I don't, you know, that's not always the kindest way to wake up either, even if my intentions are like gentleness. So
Yeah.
how do I get through to like this one person and say, hey, sweetie, it's time for you to wake up. You're going to have a great day. And like, let them come into their bodies in a really nurturing way so they can put
Yeah.
their feet on the ground and be like, cool, like what kind of day can I have?
Yeah.
um
It-
and and that was just like natural, like why would I
so,
do it any other way?
oh my God. It's just so beautiful. It's so it's like you have this, it's just who you be, is this just nurturing and kindness. And, I'm sure I'm not, to me, just talking to you about it is like, wow, like I can just see like that's just you. It's like, I don't know. For me, it's like, I'm not saying that like I have to be mean, but for me, it's like I don't even go there. It's like it's almost like I approach bodies and stuff in a little, maybe I do in my own way, but it's just so like, how can I be gentle? Like that's so cool.
But I mean,
Anyway,
I've shared a room with you countless times, and
yeah,
there's ways in which, like, because I notice where people are considerate. It's just like one
yeah.
of the things that I track, and I noticed that there were things that you would do, and I'm like, that was so considerate. Like, most people don't even think, you know, like, how can I do this one thing that's not going to cost me anything, but it's going to make their experience softer. And you totally
Yeah.
do that without even knowing.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like what I'm like kind of. I'm trying to be like, Sarah, like, do you see this about you? It's like really, really cool. Like, yeah, I think, okay, you were like doing that. That's cool. Um, so, you know, so like energy work, right? Has doing energy work and working on bodies, like, has this always been your thing? Like, can you tell, this is where it's like, what's your transformation story? Like, did you grow up, like, how was growing up for you? And did you always know that you were different than everyone? And like, how did you get into, working on bodies energetically? Uh,
Um,
Take us back.
so I lived in Germany for a year in high school, and there was like this total like blossoming coming into myself, like learning how to flirt and have this sexualness and play, and just kind of find my voice, because I was so shy before, just like painfully shy. Please don't look at me. Oh my God, I just want to go like hide under the table. Like, oh my God, somebody's looking at me.
Oh,
You know, like I still had like a playfulness and a flirtation, but there was like, I couldn't be seen. I couldn't be doing this. But when I was in Germany, I lived on the beach, and so I'd go to the beach every day, and that was like massively healing. And I had these girlfriends, and we'd go out to the clubs, which was really fun because I was like really finding my sexualness and my joy and like learning how to love my body. But the most fun would be to like flirt with all the boys or like flirt with all the girls and then go and sit in the corner in like this popping club and like work on my friends' bodies, not because like they needed it or they asked me to, but because I'd be like, God, this is so fun on my hands. Like, I love it. Like, there's so much going on and I'm so happy, like totally not hiding from me. And like, I just get to like tickle your spine and see what happens. It was like having a lab. And so then I went back to Alaska, where I was raised, and I started going to college, and there was a massage program there. So I started massage school when I was 18, like almost 20 years ago. And I think there was one experience that like really brought it all together. We had to do practicums in school, and there was a guy who came in and he was really nice, and I asked him what he'd like, and we all had like these little like closet things, like cubby hole where we'd do massages. So we're all in the same room, but there's like curtains and dividers.
Yeah.
And so before I took him in there, he's like, well, I come in every week and I usually get deep tissue. And inwardly I was like, oh, barf, like that doesn't work for me, but I would have still done it. And then he looked at me and he just said, but I'd like you to take me to the beach. I'd like you to take me to the tropical beach. And I was like,
oh,
I don't know cognitively what that means. And I absolutely, yes, like we can do that. And so there's like 40 people in the room, you know, they're all like whispering to each other. And we zoned out so sweetly. It was like, it's supposed to be an hour session. And I think 4 hours into it, I came to. And I was just like stroking his body, just like total like love. And I got that there was communication with molecules, and we were changing like everything on the planet, and our breath was like the same. And it wasn't me as a practitioner, it was like me as surrendered into this experience.
Yeah. Oh,
like, that was 19 years ago, and I still get chills thinking about it.
That's awesome.
And I think that was where I was like, oh, it's so cool. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's awesome. and so so here you are, you're like, okay, obviously this is something pretty different that's not taught in school. So then what? Like what starts coming into your life then, or where do you go next, or what was that, you know, you started like expanding on that piece, like the that energetic piece or the molecules? And
it was like knowing how to just follow whatever was most fun. And, I don't know, I just started like learning how to hear bodies in a different way. Just where it's like I'm so aware of them all the time, but it just became like, oh, I'm acknowledging that I'm aware here. Okay, cool. And acknowledging that I'm aware here. And then I worked for a lot of chiropractors, and I did like lots of structural work and that stuff, which was cool, but it was part of the process, and I still do it from time to time. But the further I got toward like working with holistic healers, the more I was able to just expand and trust my body. I was working as a chiropractic assistant for a while when I first moved to California. And that type of work is all like energy work and breath work, and they're popping, just like nurturing, like tap you into your magic. And I felt like that was where I like really skyrocketed, because I was receiving that work all the time. And then there'd be times where I'd have a whole list of things that had to be done. And I could also see into the room. So we had like these glass doors, and I could see what was going on, and I could feel it. And there'd be times that I would know all that matters is I put down my pen and I just expand my space, and I just breathe, and I just like
Yeah.
create more
Yeah.
here. Like, how can I contribute to this magic that's happening that I get to witness, and how
Yeah.
like if I can throw a sparkle in there of love,
Yeah.
like great.
Yeah. And it's just you essentially being you. You're just being, and you have the awarenesses of like what's required in those moments. And then, you know, it's just like I got that from you, even, you know, I mean, from Hawaii, and also in Orlando when we worked on Dr. Lisa's classes, where it was just like, at some point it was like, yeah, you're kind of managing Dr. Lisa, and like, you know, when she's finished for the day, like when she's facilitating a room, then you would like work on her body. So, you know, also working on anyone on the team that required it, and then but also managing the whole freaking tour. You know what I mean? Like,
Which was fun.
like, yeah. I mean, it's like there's the mechanics of managing the tour, right? Which it was like, you know, you were just like, but then there's also the energetics of it all. And as you were speaking there, it was like when you were telling the story of sitting at your desk and just knowing what was required. That's what my sense of working with you was like. It was just kind of like, like there were certain places I knew I'm like, I just have to tell Sara this just to tell her this, and then I can go back to what I'm doing. And like, you know, it was like, and I know on some level that piece of information is going to go do something else, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's like multi-levels, like so many dimensions going on. I love it.
Right. And it's so fun to like work where like the whole team is like playing like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know where this is going, but I'm going to tell you this, and that something's going to change, and acknowledging it, and like, cool, like that, and going.
And all of it is with the I want to say background, but all of it is with creating a space for other people who came there as participants to transform some of the deepest stuff that they've been holding on to in their bodies or in their fields, you know, like transforming, you know, working on Dr. Lisa's tour, it was abuse, right? So that's some pretty, you know,
yeah,
right. It's just like, I don't know. I just want to acknowledge like the magic of like, you were like running things, you know? And I just want to acknowledge that like so fully that's what I was like, whoa, you know, I was a little taken aback by like, whoa, she's powerful. So yeah, so this is like, you know, your business, or you're the founder of the Body Acoustic.
Yes.
Now, can you tell me in your words, like, what is the Body Acoustic? Like, why acoustic? And like, what is your business, what's your business, I guess, but I want to know, like, what is that about, the whole acoustic thing?
So in Access, we started talking about acoustics. I don't know, I feel like it came up a while back. But like, how do you have the acoustical body? And it was really, what I got is that there's just such a different possibility and a different paradigm of bodies that we're stepping into, and we're all doing it. You know, any of us who are on the path are like choosing it. And for me, I tend to use the word turn on a lot, or bliss. And it doesn't mean, you know, like sexually turned on, but it can include that. And so I think my target is like, how can there be more sexual or sensual or aliveness, or just like, how can we all just create more on the planet because our bodies are actually alive? You know, like, what if this whole time we've been pretending like our bodies are alive, and now we're finally starting to let them show us what's required? So I think just more body love, body awareness, body joy.
Yeah.
I see it like rippling out, you know, it's just, I think I've always known that like everything that we choose that creates more joy, like everything that creates more joy in your body creates more joy on the planet.
Yeah.
Like if you enjoy that like coffee and you take it in to every molecule and you just let it like massage you and just like put rainbows over your head, you're creating a happier planet, and you're creating like the people around you going, I think I could enjoy this more too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what can I have more fun with, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
I like to people find
Wait, what? Say that again. It was a little
I like to let
breaking.
people find their turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah helps people find their turn on. And so, okay, and I'm like, and that occurs more of it when you're functioning from like acoustics. Like what if,
Yeah.
let's just say someone who is just stumbling upon this video, right, into the future, and they're like, what is this, what is acoustic, like is it acoustic versus electric, like with instruments?
Like if you're looking at it in terms of acoustic versus electric, I would say electric is like how we were taught to be with our bodies, like not actually taking our bodies into consideration or being present with them.
Yeah.
Electric feels like order, and acoustical feels like chaos. And what we've been talking about lately in Access is chaos. Like how much chaos can we fill in whatever we're doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever it is, like more chaos, turn it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was sometimes when I listen to bodies, it's like I get information in different ways, but what I started realizing a number of years ago is that sometimes it's almost like ley lines. Like what I'm picking up on is ley lines in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's almost like I'm hearing where instead of it lining up like this, it's like here, and there's like kind of like a little weird buzzing that I hear that's like totally not, you know, I don't know, maybe dogs can hear it, but like weird, like it's just off to me. So it's a matter of like, if I have no objective and I'm not there to like fix, but if I can just like, if this line is off and it just wants to be like kind of nudged back together, like you might like slightly move water a little bit, like with rocks.
Yeah.
Or just invitation, like how does that change things? Like,
yeah.
But then it actually like ties us into the whole world and the environment and all the animals and all the people. So when one body is activated, as you're walking through, even as you're driving in traffic, there's like, I'm aware of what's going on all around me.
Yeah.
You know, not just because I can see it, but because I'm like asking for all the awareness. Like, I know when that guy's gonna like cut me off in a second, and I can be prepared. Like, I don't have to be mad at him, but like, cool, he's coming in.
Yeah.
It's just like, how do we take that awareness through our body into the world as we like walk through it?
Yeah, and I get like that's all occurring in like an acoustic vibration. Yeah, like that whole interconnectedness. Yeah, so it's actually beautiful. I can sense it all right now. It's like
it's the oneness, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, and I get that you mainly, you know, here's the thing, like to me, like, or in this moment, I'm like, okay, that, like, you're always like there, like fun, like that's, you know, some other people aren't always there. And I just want to let people know that this is what's possible, you know, for you, for your body. Especially, I'm just going to throw this out there with a session with Sara. Like, ding. No, I mean, but seriously, this is what you bring. Like, you bring all of this to your sessions, to any facilitator that is taking you on tour. You're bringing that to their classes, to each person that is in their classes, and it all ripples out throughout the world, you know. So I'm just great. I'm grateful. This is awesome stuff. Even if we just sat here and like stared at each other, I think it would be like so awesome, you know? I feel like we're trying to put to words, words to vibrations and energies that maybe don't exist yet for words, or maybe words don't exist yet for that, you know? So maybe we should sit here and just, just be.
That sounds awesome. Can I fly you from here?
Wait. What did you, say that one more time?
Here.
You want to what?
Cosmic fluffer.
Oh yeah, go ahead. We'll do cosmic fluff session. Oh my god.
Awesome.
Okay, so wait, let me. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think this thing that's popping is, what if we all could trust our bodies more? And what if we could create trust where our bodies trust us as well? Like, what I've been playing with for the last couple of years is like, I'm talking to my body all the time. I'm constantly checking in and like, hey, how are you? What's going on? Like, I'm doing like body scans because it like tickles me to just like always perceive my body. Like, where do I feel the energy flowing?
Yeah.
And when I choose things that aren't kind to my body, I know quicker, like, hey, my body doesn't actually like this. Like if I'm carrying too heavy things, trying to be all like burly and tough, and my body's unhappy, I'm quicker to change the situation so that I'm always honoring and nurturing my body. And I think that that's one thing that I'd really like to see more of, is that everybody just has more sense of like being with their body.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here. I love you. I'm so grateful for you.
Yeah.
And just like changing the dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you, what do you perceive when you're being with your body, or if you were to teach someone how to be with their body, is like, what would you say? It's like you want to treat your body as if it was like your best friend, or your beloved pet, or something like that.
Like, I find that for so many people, it's easier to be kind to everybody else, and then we just on our body. And I've done that. I've done that a lot. But my body is so loud with me now that I can't choose against it anymore. And it's this constant like, hi, I'm here and I love you. I was coming up the stairs the other day and my knee was like, ouch. And I was like, hey, it's okay. It's totally cool. I love you so much. Thanks for being here and thanks for carrying me. And thank you for just always having my back, and how can I support you? And is there an energetic process that I can run? And like, what would it take to just have more lightness?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to see more honoring of bodies.
Yeah. What would it be like with a whole world full of people who honored their bodies? And you know, I mean, I feel like we're so, from my perspective is like, I have a pretty good marketing background, and I see how things are marketed to people here in this reality. And it's like, you know, we're taught to judge our bodies according to what some fake, you know, like I used to retouch bodies. I used to be the one to create people. Like when I would get through with one of these women who, you know, I had to have these images of models, right? And they would have blemishes, and, you know, we'd have to shave off. Like, I know how to shave pounds off of people digitally. And when I would get done, I'd be like, wow, she kind of looks really alien right now. And this is what's like considered standard. And at some point I was like, I cannot be contributing to people in doing what I'm doing here. And that was like, that started the beginning to the end of that job, I guess you could say.
Cool.
But
it's stepping out of judgment.
Yeah. And it was like, because it was like, I actually started to, I said this, last year I had an interview with Danielle Carter, and I mentioned this to her, is like, my eyes became trained so
Yeah.
much on the images that when I would go out and talk to people in person, I would be retouching their lines, and I was just, yeah, in my eyes, like, and I was like I knew the whole time. I was just like, it's all fake, and this is like, it's doing it was conditioning. I wouldn't go out and be like, you have laugh lines and you have this and that, but it would
Yeah.
get louder for me. And I was just like, this can't be healthy. Or this, I was like, I am not contributing to the world that I know is possible. And even then, I didn't realize what was really possible. But it was something where it was like, I knew that this was not it for me, So, gosh, I think I
your social media skills and your marketing skills to create like a really happy planet.
exactly, yeah, I totally like did a 360. Oh no, a 180. Thank you. Oh, yeah. So yeah, hence now my entire world, I'm actually doing something for consciousness, and I'm actually using. Yeah, I'm working. I do a lot in the behind the scenes with everything that I've actually, now it's like I'm utilizing almost every skill I went to school for in this direction now.
Yeah.
How does it get any better?
Yeah. That's incredible.
Oh, so I have just a couple more questions before we wrap up, because I know we're probably going over our 30-minute that I say, like, we're gonna do 30 minutes. I think we're pretty well over it, but I really like the energy that's here, so I'm just kind of like, let me just stay here. No, like, okay, so I have I have an audience poll question, because I posted a question on Facebook. And I was like, if you could ask an energy worker, an energy healer, any question on the spot, what would it be?
Okay.
And a lot of people wrote in, I mean, there's questions that were like, how do you protect yourself from negative energy? And then there was a question that kept repeating itself. I mean, the protection is one thing, but then there was, what do you do on a bad day? Like, do you have bad days? And how do you move through having a bad day?
Yeah.
Does that even exist
Yes.
anymore?
Yeah, I was really enjoying being grumpy last night. And I said, like, I'm just grumpy. And then
I can't even picture you angry or grumpy.
Man, it's fun. Because I wasn't going into like, I'm an asshole because I'm grumpy. I was like, yep, that's just where it is. But to have that allowance for myself in it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there have been definitely times of burnout over the years, and just kind of not, before I found access, certainly. And then even still, there's days where my awareness has exceeded my allowance, and it just becomes like really uncomfortable. Like, this is not always a comfortable ride.
Yeah.
But when my income and my business is dependent on touch, and when there are days that I can't touch anybody, like,
Yeah.
I just am full, I'm shifting it now so that it's always choice. But there was a couple of years ago, I was walking into a spa that I was working at, and I was just so full. I just couldn't touch. Like, just the thought of touching anybody for any reason was not fun.
Yeah.
And I think I'd been doing a lot of healing without knowing I was doing a lot of healing.
Yeah.
And so I was walking like across the field, and I knew I had 6 hours ahead, and there was nothing I could do. I couldn't call out. Like, I just had to do it. And so it was a matter of like, how do I have my own back as I show up for other people? Like, where's that ratio? And I started playing with, if I had no experience and I'd never touched a body, I didn't even know what a body was, like, what would it be like? What level of curiosity could I have about, like, so this is a hand, and like, this is a body, and like, what happens when there's this is touch? And I just took it so far back then I
Yeah.
didn't have any story looping in my head, and I could actually fall in love again. So it was like, how do I fall in love with this person? Like,
Yeah.
how can I honor them? How can I be gentle? How can I remember it's not about me?
Yeah.
You know, how can I just show up
Yeah.
because this is the commitment that's been made, you know?
Yeah. I love that. I love that about how you're like, how do I fall in love again with
Yeah.
this person? Because that's like, I, I bring that, like, for me, in some of the work, in even in some of the work that I do, with the, not on bodies. If I'm working for someone's business, I I I go into that, like, how can I fall in love with this? And and when you said that, it just completely, like, for me personally in this moment, and I'm sure that this is contributing to everyone on different levels, but for me personally, what I got from that was like a big, like a, oh, that's what that, in my own world. It just validated something so cool. So just just letting you know there. I totally get what you're saying. And even this week, something where I almost would make myself wrong for always falling in love, or having, like, I would make that kind of go a little bit wrong. Like,
Yeah.
why do I get so deep into this?
Yeah.
And I actually require to do that to produce the best results to do what I do.
Yeah.
So hearing that you do that is like, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Like, I don't think I'd want to be on this planet if we couldn't just fall in love with each other all the fucking time. Like,
Right?
yeah.
Oh,
I'm
I
in love
know.
with
Oh,
you.
oh my God, I'm in love with you too. I want to hug you. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you so much. So here's some things, like, how can people get in touch with you? Like, how can, if they want to know more about you, like, I will have your links underneath this video.
Awesome.
And I just want to hear from you, like, how can people get in touch with you?
Cool. Well, my website is thebodyacoustic.com. Facebook is, you know, just look for The Body Acoustic.
Yeah.
And on Facebook, I used to be Sara Live Starwalker, and I kind of, with the adult of consciousness stuff, there's been a shift. And I am actually really happy to be me, and
Yeah.
still have those aspects, but I don't have that name on my Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
So just facebook.com/sarah.wilson,
Yeah.
like how you can actually find me.
Cool, guys. Cool, guys. Everybody watching, I'm actually gonna put links to everything Sara underneath this video, or wherever it is posted. And then here's the one question that I ask everybody that comes on to Energy Transformation Week. It's like, before, okay, so go back to the time when, imagine the younger you, okay, before you realized that you had these capacities and these energetic talents and stuff like that. Before all of that, right? If you could go back to that, and that person was watching this, this video, what would you tell them to have them feel encouraged to keep expanding upon their gifts?
um, just trust and keep going, and it gets better. And be the hedonist of pleasure and bliss you truly be. Don't turn it down, ever, ever,
Yeah.
ever. Just keep turning it up.
Oof.
And now there's cheers.
Yay! Yay! I mean, that's yay. Sara, it has been such an honor and a privilege to have you, to interview you, and to have you be a part of this. And I'm truly grateful. There's no doubt in my mind that this video is going to contribute to so many people. And And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for being part of Energy Transformation Week and for doing this interview with me.
Thank you so much for asking me to be here. I just feel really honored and touched, and I think I sometimes forget that I have magical capacities with bodies, so thanks for reminding me.
Oh,
it's like an amazing group of people, and
yeah.
I just feel really touched, and your vision for this is amazing, and I'd like to talk more to you offline about like some parallels. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, well, guys,
Grateful.
if there's is there anything else that you'd like to
If
say?
you're in San Francisco this weekend, which obviously people will be watching this down the road, but I'm massaging at Yoga Journal this weekend. So I can't wait to go touch all their bodies and help people fall in love with themselves again.
Yay! And that's even more. Tune into Sara, because she does travel the world, and if she's in your country, in your area, and at some point in time, you're probably going to want to link up with her. Okay, if you want more of this.
Link up or wake up? I think.
Link up. Okay, wake up. Yes, wake up with her.
I just went visual, and I was like, wow.
Okay, all right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Sara, and oh yeah, tomorrow I'll be interviewing the lovely Goja Lorenz, and
Awesome.
she is another magical being, and her specialty is entities and people who no longer have bodies, and it's going to be a really interesting, magical conversation. So tune in tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. And Sara, thank you so much again for being here. And
amazing.
Take care, bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Wow.